Hi, Raimi.
Hi, Taylor.
Welcome to
Much ado about some shit.
where every week Raimi tries to talk me into watching garbage television by
Uh-huh.
walking me through a season or a section or some episodes of a thing.
Uh-huh.
What we doing, Raimi?
We are finishing Selling Sunset Season 6,
How's that for some alliteration?
right? This is basically going to cover episodes 7 through 11. So, do you remember anything about last week?
I'm sure it'll come to me.
Perfect. Nothing about seeing these lovely ladies.
Oh yeah, Nicole has a problem with Michael, but she's taking it out on Chriselle.
Correct.
Bree has a chip on her shoulder, but maybe she's getting better. She also just gave birth like a couple months ago, so like I get
Yep.
it. Maybe that's not who she is, but how she is right now.
Uh-huh.
That's oh, Mary was not managing.
Yep.
All right, that's all I got.
Get ready for more of that.
Okay.
So we left it with Jason was like,
Michael.
Mary, you're going to take care of the Chriselle Nicole situation.
Okay.
Mary brings Chriselle and Nicole into the office, and it goes poorly.
Right. I think that's where we left off last week.
Yep. With Nicole just getting up and leaving.
Right.
Yeah.
Because of internalized misogyny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
She's not like other girls. Pick her. Anyway.
Yeah. So everyone just comes back into the office like normal.
Okay. I mean, what else can you do, you know?
I guess, yeah. It's just like dog.
I mean, it's awkward, but like, you still gotta work, you know?
Yeah. It just feels like, something more can be done. But,
Probably, but,
what
you
do
know.
I know?
Eh.
Oh, Jason is gone again. He's in New York, I guess. So that's
Jason.
fun.
What the hell?
Yeah. So, everybody's in the office, and Mary announces that she's organizing a girls' trip to Palm Springs for everybody. Well, all the girls in the office. Yeah.
That's neat.
Right? So before they go to Palm Springs, Chriselle has dinner with Jason.
Okay.
And they basically talk about the Nicole Chriselle situation. Jason says, like, oh, it's wrong for them to say that I'm showing favoritism.
I mean...
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, well, if Nicole's not going to change her attitude, what can you do? You know, that
Right, yeah.
it becomes complicated.
What's
from an employment standpoint, anyway.
Right, yeah. What's annoying to me is they talk about this stuff, but nothing ever seems to happen about it.
Yeah, well, it's also a reality show, so they can't just fix the problems like responsible adults.
No, what's the fun in that?
No, that's illegal.
Right? Also, I think it's really funny, so Jason and Chriselle dated, like, not that long ago at this point. He orders her a drink, and, she's like, when have I ever had one of those in my life?
Ah!
And she's like, we almost had, like, a kid together, and you can't remember my drink order? Okay.
Damn.
Hey, I think that's fair. That's wild to me.
Well, yeah, I'm more like, wow, he doesn't know shit.
Oh,
anyway.
yeah, right?
That's awkward.
Right?
Also, let her order her own goddamn drink.
Right? Yeah. Like,
anyway.
Yeah. Oh, God. Okay. So Mary, Nicole, Chelsea, Emma, Chriselle, and Heather are all in Palm Springs.
Okay.
And Bree and Amanda are going to join everybody tomorrow.
Gotcha.
while they're all in Palm Springs, Bree and Amanda have drinks and talk about parenthood and Bree's situation. And we last left her, she had just found out about the, like, 10th kid
Yeah.
that she didn't know was happening.
Surprise additional child.
Yep. Yeah. They talk about that, and Chelsea, like, bringing it up in the office and stuff like that.
Yeah, that was really inappropriate.
Yeah, fair.
Like, don't bring it up in the office, especially if the person's not there.
Right.
What you doing?
Yeah.
It's the office. Don't
Right.
do that.
I cannot imagine the HR nightmare that this place would be.
I have worked HR. This place makes me itchy.
Yeah, that's fair. So we watch them have dinner in Palm Springs.
Mm-hmm.
And Heather talks about how Bree wasn't thrilled that she was being talked about at the office.
No. I think that's a very reasonable thing to be upset about.
Yeah.
None of them know how to act.
For real. These aren't like 20-year-olds.
No. They're in their 40s and 30s. Like, they should know how to act. None of them know how to act.
Right? You would fucking think, but apparently the fuck not. We've moved on. This is dinner in Palm Springs with everybody but Amanda and Bree.
Gotcha.
Nicole and Chriselle are brought up. And Nicole basically ends up saying that Chriselle wouldn't let Jason talk on the phone at certain times.
What?
Yeah.
Well, like when they were together?
Yeah.
Because, yeah, like, work-life boundaries are reasonable.
Right? Yeah.
Like, my family doesn't take phone calls when they're at the dinner table. Like,
yeah.
you know,
Right? Yeah. And Chriselle is like, that didn't happen. You're making rumors up at this point.
Okay.
And then is like, it gets kind of heated.
Nicole, I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say you're the problem.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I've been saying that the whole time, but, you know.
We gotta reiterate it this episode.
Yep. I just need to lay down. Anyway.
Chriselle is like, Nicole, you're making this shit up. You've, like, hit me from every single angle you can. You've hit me, like, when it comes to business, and now you're trying to hit me, like, personally. You're bringing up, you know, this old relationship. Nicole then says that she's not trying to say anything hurtful about Chriselle's business, and she's being respectful by not saying those things. And she's like, I don't want to go there.
She thinks this is respectful?
Right?
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's...
Okay, this is definitely going to be a lie-down day for Taylor.
At least you're home. Chriselle responds by saying, like, I'm not scared of you. Like, whatever you want to bring up, like, I can handle whatever. And Nicole says, like, that she's trying to explain herself, but Chriselle isn't willing to listen. So they just need to move on.
It sounds like you're not talking and just saying, oh, you're not letting me talk.
Right? Yeah.
She just invited you to say the things.
Right?
And also, in your, like, serious discussion, you walked away, Nicole. So...
Right. You're, like, corporate sit-down.
Yeah. Your
Like...
actual, like manager-led conversation, you walked away.
Right, yeah.
Wild.
Now, here's where shit gets dicey.
Oh, here! Here is where, huh?
Uh-huh.
Wow, okay.
Because, so Chriselle says, so Nicole is like, we need to move on. And Chriselle is like, oh, you want to move on because you have no points and you're on drugs.
What?
Yeah.
What? Wait, Chriselle said this?
Yes.
Okay, well, holy shit, that was an escalation.
Right, the table goes completely silent.
Well, yep, that... I think if she'd stopped at you have no point, sure, yeah.
Right,
Get
yeah.
him. You added on the drugs thing, and wow, you just lost me, Chriselle. Whoa.
Right, yeah. So, Nicole, at this point, is kind of frustrated because no one's saying anything.
I
No
mean,
one's like...
I would... She is too stunned to speak.
Right? Yeah, no.
I would also be completely without words in this.
Right, yeah.
Oh, God.
Chriselle then says that Nicole is cracked out.
You don't just say that. Holy shit.
Right? So Nicole leaves the table.
Yeah. At this point, yeah.
Mary is like, Nicole, like, I've known Nicole for 10 years. Like, Nicole is not on drugs.
Okay. I mean, okay. Regardless if she is or is not, that was inappropriate to say.
Right. Yeah. No, it's
the long and short of it. Like, nope. Chriselle, you had the higher ground and you just yeeted yourself off the side.
Oh, yeah. Chriselle brings up seeing Nicole do drugs at Mary's bachelorette party a couple years ago.
Okay.
And Mary is like, what are you talking about? Like, do you understand how that can, like, imply that I'm doing drugs too? Like,
do you understand the gravity of what you're saying, Chriselle?
Right, yeah. So, Mary then leaves the table to go check on Nicole. Mary is like, that's not gonna happen. Like, I'm not gonna let that stuff happen again. Stuff like that happen again. And it's like, it's gotten to this fucking point, Mary, because of your lack of doing anything. Like,
it's not happening again, it's still happening.
Exactly. Like, Mary, get your shit together. Wow. So, Mary tries to tell Nicole that she needs to stop taking jabs at Chriselle because...
I mean, yeah, she does need to stop that.
That's why Chriselle went below the belt with the drugs comment. She's...
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
That's accurate. She wouldn't stop, so...
Right. So what else is she gonna do? Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I get it. Still wildly inappropriate, but, like, I get it.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Nicole then is like, I'm done talking about this. And just like, yeah. Mary is trying to be like, hey, Nicole, this is why this is happening. You need to, kind of you need to stop it. And Nicole is like, no, I'm done talking about this. Like, it's just so frustrating.
So she keeps lobbing grenades and then not wanting to talk about it afterwards.
Exactly.
It's like, well, then why did you keep fucking jabbing about it?
Exactly.
Just to get your cheap shots in?
Right, yeah.
Granted, in this case, Chriselle kind of lobbed that grenade. But,
oh, yeah.
But you know what I mean.
Absolutely,
you know what I mean.
Yeah. Nicole also says that she's never felt so alone.
A boohoo.
Right.
Well, if it isn't the consequences of my own actions.
For real. So Mary goes back to the dinner table and says, Chriselle, like, you can't say that. It looks bad on me. Because you're saying...
Well, it looks bad on everyone.
Oh, totally. Well, but her thing is, like, okay, you said that Nicole was doing drugs at my bachelorette party. People are going to assume that, like, I was partaking in that because it's my bachelorette party. And, like, you can't say that.
Mary, you almost had... Like, I get being like, don't imply that I'm doing drugs, but you're also in a managerial position, so it's like, don't imply anybody's doing drugs. Holy shit.
Right, yeah. And Chriselle is like, well, I don't, like... I've heard her talk about doing mushrooms, and, like, she's offered me drugs before. And, like, she was threatening to say things about me, and I'm like, I'm not gonna sit there and take it,
I get it, but you don't have to go nuclear.
Right, yeah.
Like,
no,
there's...
for sure.
There's levels.
Right, yeah. So, the next morning, they are all having breakfast together, except for Nicole, who is on a conference call.
Okay.
We'll learn about that in 2 seconds.
Okay. We'll learn about that right now.
Yep. More on that now. Um, so, so the teams, they kind of separate. Heather, Emma, and Chriselle meet Bree at a property in Palm Springs that was where Elvis Presley and Priscilla Presley went on their honeymoon.
Wow.
It's like mid-century modern architecture and shit like that. So Chelsea and Mary are like by the pool when Nicole comes out, and Chelsea is like, "Wow, that was a really long like business call. That kind of sucks. Like you took it on your vacation."
Yeah.
And Nicole is like, "Oh yeah, no, it wasn't a business. It would have been if it was a business call, but I took a voluntary drug test."
What?
Yeah. Nicole's versions of events right now. Last night, she called her husband, and her husband found her a place to, like, in Palm Springs to get a voluntary drug test so that she could have the full panel come back, basically, with nothing on it, and prove that she doesn't do drugs.
Okay. I mean, I guess if somebody accused me in front of a bunch of people of doing drugs, I might, like, I can't say I wouldn't do that.
Right, yeah.
It's like, damn, that's not even true.
Right? There's lots of talk about this, and some of the girls are like, if somebody accused me of doing drugs, I would just, like, laugh it off. Like, I wouldn't get a drug test done. Like, maybe it's because she has something to hide.
I mean, yeah, it's like, it's not the coolest response, you know?
No, but...
I'm saying that I might do that because I'm not cool.
Oh, totally. Well, no.
Like, there's no chill in that response, you
right,
know?
yeah. Well, and, like, knowing from what we've kind of seen of Nicole, to me, I feel like that is definitely a response she would have.
Yeah, it's like there is no chill in that response.
Yeah.
And, like,
Nicole
if somebody...
is a no-chill person.
Yep. Well, if somebody accused me of doing drugs in front of, like, a group of people, it would be kind of triggering to me due to, like, some people in my life.
Yeah.
And so I would very possibly have a no-chill response. Like, I can't say I wouldn't do that. I'd like to think I'd be cooler than that, but...
You never know. And, like...
You never know.
The thing that frustrates me is they're all like, oh, well, this is the response that should have happened. You can't say how somebody should respond in something, because, like, so what I immediately go to is JonBenet Ramsey.
And I don't know who that is.
JonBenet Ramsey was a little girl in, like, the late 80s, early 90s, I want to say, who also every single person who knows what I'm talking about is screaming at you.
Yeah, I'm used to that. I don't know who anybody is ever. Like, what else is new? Anyway. So,
JonBenet was kidnapped. We don't really know what happened. Oh, we do. We found her body. Sorry. The body was, like, in the house.
Oh, I do remember this.
Yeah.
I do know what this is.
Okay. So people were like, oh, her parents are acting so, like, they would be like, oh, they're acting like they're sad too much, so they did it. Or, oh, they're acting like, you know, super nonchalant.
They're not sad enough.
They're not sad enough. They did it. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, I hate when people are like, you know, you have to act a certain way when...
Yeah, if you don't act a certain way when something terrible happens, you're guilty.
Guilty. Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
And, like... Yep. I don't think Nicole's response was like, yeah, it wasn't chill, but, like, the fact
it wasn't chill, but it's not guilty.
Exactly. Yeah. And the fact that everybody, like, Emma and Chelsea are like, oh, well, she's obviously guilty of something because she went and did this drug test. It's
no, she's guilty of being defensive and having no chill.
Exactly. Yeah.
Any of us can be there sometimes.
Right, yeah. So, they talk about, having a good night, and Nicole says, like, she has to talk to her lawyer first.
What?
Yeah.
Wh- About having a good what?
Basically, so everybody's, Mary and Chelsea are like, let's just, like, have a good night, like, enjoy while we're here.
Oh, and she has to do a jab.
Like, kind of, yeah. She's like, they're like, can you just, like, not, you know, let's not have you and Chriselle, like, interact. And
Yeah.
Nicole is like, well, if, we do have to interact, like, I have to talk to my lawyer first.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, no chill.
Yep, exactly.
Okay.
Right? So back at the house.
These are grown adults.
Yep.
These are fully grown women.
They have children.
Yep, these are
Mary
mothers.
has, like, a 19-year-old. Chelsea has 2, like, elementary school kids.
Yeah, these are mothers.
Yeah.
Holy crap. Well, good luck to their kids.
Right.
This is the kind of emotional maturity they're being raised with.
Right, yeah. Hopefully the show gets canceled before some of them, are...
Ever see it?
Yeah, exactly.
Yep, alright.
We see Heather talking to Bree about Chelsea still being unsure about Bree.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll talk about it a little.
Okay.
Second night dinner in Palm Springs with everybody.
Oh, good.
So before Emma and Chriselle arrive, they kind of fill Bree in about the Chriselle Nicole issue that happened the previous night.
Yeah, hi, welcome to the vacation. So everything's on fire.
Uh-huh, yeah. Basically.
God, aren't you glad you came?
Right. Bree asks Chelsea why she was talking about her, and Chelsea was like, well, I don't understand your situation.
Chelsea's kind of out here being really judgy.
Yeah.
I don't understand her situation either, but, like, come on, lay off.
Right.
She's having a hard time.
Just because you don't understand something doesn't mean you can't respect it.
Right.
Like, and just kind of let it be.
Or even just not talk about it all the time.
That too, yeah.
Like, yeah, just like, chill. Like, yeah, I don't think I would ever be in Bree's situation, so my understanding's limited, but, like, come on, she's having a rough time. Lay
Right,
off.
yeah. Well, and Chelsea's whole thing is like, well, everybody's talking about it, so, like, I'm just commenting on what I'm seeing, and it's like, but you work with this person, so
Yeah,
chill.
so, yeah, like, it's not a everybody kind of situation. You literally know this person.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, okay.
So they go back and forth about it for a minute, and Chelsea says that they don't have to get along. Amanda says that the Oppenheim group is a family, and Chelsea is like, it's a pretty incestuous family then.
Yeah. First of all, never call a business a family. No.
Right?
Gross.
No.
Yeah.
These are your employees. These are not your family. This is not your dating pool either.
Nope. Yeah.
Um,
Shit.
yeah, it's,
So,
yeah.
yeah. Pretty incestuous family.
Yeah, but Amanda kind of goes off and is like, well, we are a family. We were a family before everything went to shit. And tells everybody Jason paid the down payment on her house so that her kids could have bedrooms, basically. Which is very sweet.
Yeah. I mean, like, bosses can do nice things for their employees sometimes. Like,
Right.
But that's still...
And I mean,
You're
they were
still employees. You could still be
exactly.
fired. Like,
Exactly. Well, and I get where Amanda's coming from, and also, like, Amanda has known Jason way longer than they've been working together. So I understand that.
yeah,
That being
yeah.
said, like, that still does feel like a, you know, Jason asks Amanda to do something. Oh, I have this. Well, I bought the, I put the down payment
There,
on your house.
yeah.
So,
Like, there's that power imbalance that makes
exactly.
things like
Yeah.
you gotta be real
Careful.
careful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just, like, wild to me. So, then for some reason we get back to Bree and Chelsea, and Bree leaves.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bye, I guess. I don't
Right.
know. I don't know what the hell's going on anymore. Okay.
Right. Um, it's a lot. So the next morning, Amanda goes to talk to Chriselle, with Emma there.
Okay.
Um, and basically Amanda is like, hey, that, like, drug accusation of Nicole really, like, hit a sore spot for me because last year, um, in the season, Amanda had CPS called on her, and somebody
Oh.
told CPS that there were drugs in her house. So,
Oh.
yeah, it kind of hits a soft spot for Amanda.
Yeah. Yeah. It wasn't a good move in any way,
No,
shape, or form.
no, not at all. So they just talk about that, and um, they, Amanda is still very like, hey, that wasn't cool. And Chriselle is like, well, I've fucking done everything that I can. And, like,
I totally
I
understand her being
just,
frustrated, but
yeah,
that was still too far.
right, yeah.
It's too much.
Then we see that Chelsea is frustrated that Bree didn't come to her directly if she had an issue with her.
Okay.
Yep.
I mean, you've told her, like, basically you don't approve of her life or whatever, so.
Right.
Uh,
Yeah.
I don't quite know what you're
Right,
wanting
you're
here, I
expecting.
guess. Yeah.
I guess the thing is that, like, Chelsea didn't know that Bree was, like, upset with her, so she felt really, like, kind of blindsided and attacked um at dinner in front of everybody. That's, like, her issue.
I mean, these conversations shouldn't be happening in front of everybody.
Yeah.
Long and short of it. But,
Right.
Yeah, God. Okay.
Right. Okay, so we get the last dinner in Palm Springs.
The last dinner.
Yes. Last Palm Springs supper. Um they started a suggestion box. So,
This can only go well.
honestly, it's, like, pretty fine. The first suggestion that's pulled out is they should have a potluck every Friday. And
That sounds like a lot of work.
that's exactly what Chelsea says, and is like, sorry, we're not doing that. And
Yeah,
it's like,
nope.
that's not really your choice. You can voice your opinion on it, but, like, that's not really your choice. Anyway.
I mean, no, but I also understand, like, oh, that's a hard no from me.
Oh, for sure, yeah. Um, it
Extra unpaid work on top of your work.
right, yeah. And, yeah, right, I don't even know, like, I don't know how this shit works. If they're not paid hourly, right? It's gotta be a
No,
salary,
it's
if
gotta be a
anything.
salary and commission, probably.
Yeah, yeah.
Like the combo. But
Yep.
yeah, like, so no, that means unpaid overtime is what that means.
Exactly, yeah. The second one is like, oh, let's put a basketball hoop in the office, and if you score this really hard, like, point, then you get 5% more on commission. Yeah.
Nope.
Right? Also, not a thing y'all can institute.
No,
Mary does
that
say
sounds like a policy nightmare. Just saying.
that too, yeah. Um, Mary says that she'll take it to Jason, though.
Okay.
The next suggestion is that everyone says something nice about everybody else. Like,
Yeah.
one nice thing about each person.
One nice thing. Yep.
That's
not bad.
Right. So Chriselle is asked to do so, and she succeeds. She saves Nicole for last and is basically like, Nicole, I do really appreciate, like, how much drive and, like, passion you have for your work.
Good job.
Yeah. Mary...
Way to be a grown-up.
Right. Mary then asks if anyone wants to get anything else out on the table. And Nicole says, I took a drug test on the advice of my attorney.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that brings the mood down a bit.
Right. And Chelsea is like, I thought you were just, like, going to maybe talk to your attorney. And Nicole is like, no, I talked to my lawyer who suggested I do the drug test.
Okay, so now is when I get an HR headache.
Yeah.
Because now things have escalated significantly.
Right, yeah.
Once somebody who feels wrong brings in an attorney, like,
Right.
instead of, like, letting the company mediate or whatever, or finding a neutral third party between the company and the wrong
Right.
party, or the party that feels wronged, like, that's an escalation.
Right, yeah.
Whew, that's, oh boy. All
Yeah.
right.
Yep.
I don't have to deal with this. Thank God.
Thank God. Yep. Yeah. It's
Wow.
a lot.
Nightmare fuel.
Right. So then Chriselle suggests going to a drag bar down the street, and everybody judges her. They're like, oh, she can just, like, you know, dance her issues away and doesn't have
What
to
the
deal
hell?
with it. That's annoying.
Just.
Like, what is she supposed to do with that, though?
Yeah,
like-
what the hell?
Hi, I
Y'all
might sue you for
suck.
defamation. Like,
Right? Oh my God. Just. Y'all suck so much. All of y'all.
Right, yeah.
All y'all.
seriously.
All y'all are the problem.
It's you.
You're the problem, it's you.
So that's fun. Mary also doesn't make it to the drag bar because she, like, has a breakdown in the limo. So
That's actually fair.
she has to go home.
Yep. I don't actually fault her for that, because if I was responsible for dealing with all these people, I wouldn't want to hang out with them either.
Absolutely. My only issue with this, though, is that this is all happening because Mary didn't deal with it in the first place.
I mean, to an extent, I agree, but also, like, this has legs beyond Mary's involvement. Like,
Right.
it feels like they're just refusing to be stopped. And I'm not sure what she really could have done to stop it with the way they're acting now.
Well,
I don't know how ahead of it she could have gotten.
I mean, I think Mary should have stopped them at Chelsea's Brokers Open. Like,
Yes,
that
I
could
agree.
have helped immensely.
It might have helped, but I don't know if that really would have stopped them. But we'll never know.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I feel some type of way about managers not managing.
I mean, I totally get that. Yep. And,
So,
like, I know a lot of people also don't like HR for very valid reasons, because a
Right.
lot of companies use it as how can we take advantage of people better?
Right, yeah.
Fortunately, the company I did HR at, like, actually gave a shit about their employees, so I was actually there to help employees instead of just to shield the company.
That's nice.
Yeah, it is. But
rare.
Very rare. That's why I don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
But I guess just like there's also situations where people are so determined. Like,
oh, yeah.
I guess with the way Nicole keeps making jabs and things,
Right.
like, it's you can't just straightforward de-escalate those kind of people the way you can others.
Right, yeah.
Because they will not let it go. You'll agree to not talk about it anymore, but they always have to get that last little thing in, and then it's
Right.
a problem again.
Yeah.
Like, those kinds of people are just an absolute nightmare.
Right.
It's like, stop it. Stop bringing it up. Stop it. It would all go away if you just stopped. Anyway.
Would be so nice.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's how they end Palm Springs.
Wow, what a fun vacation.
Right?
I so would have liked to have gone.
So the next time we see everybody is at Heather's baby shower. Emma and Nicole end up at the bar together, and Nicole asks if they're good. And then accuses Emma of acting different towards her when Chriselle is around.
Well, I mean, yeah. 'Cause
Right?
you keep starting shit constantly.
Right?
I would also behave differently because it's like, oh god, what are you gonna do?
Right. Well, and Emma is like, I act the same way towards you as when I'm with everybody else. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, that's not something I do.
I think Nicole's perception of the world just changes when Chriselle is around.
Apparently. And Nicole is like, well, you get really passive aggressive towards me. And then Chriselle is like going to get Emma, but then she hears her name come up. So she's like, what's going on? Chriselle is like, I heard you call Emma passive aggressive, and like, Emma is not passive aggressive. She's a very like, what you see is what you get kind of person. Like, yeah. And they like go back and forth for a moment, and then Nicole says, we should be respectful and not do this at Heather's baby shower. And we get this very fun shot of Chriselle's face, and she's like, you're right, we really shouldn't do this. We should be respectful and not do this at Heather's baby shower. And Nicole walks off, and Chriselle does the biggest eye roll I have ever seen.
Oh my god.
Which I really couldn't agree more with, because, like, why are you saying that we shouldn't be doing this when you're the one who fucking started it?
Because that's what she does.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
She starts things and then is like, wait, why is everyone attacking me?
Exactly. Yeah.
Like, because you fucking brought it up.
Right? We weren't talking about it.
Do you want to just be able to say mean things and nobody says anything? Actually, I think that is what she wants.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. All right.
So then we see Chelsea and Jason have dinner, and Chelsea brings her husband, and Jason has his new girlfriend, Mary Lou. And Chelsea brings up, like, hey, Palm Springs was kind of a disaster. Well, okay, so Chelsea is like, oh, so you've been traveling, how is that? And he's like, oh, it's awesome, like, New York was fantastic. And Chelsea is like, so what do you think happens to the office when you leave? And Jason is like, well, it apparently goes to shit. And Chelsea is like, don't you think you should rethink traveling so much?
At least right now.
Right?
Until everything calms down.
Right?
For a while.
Well, but then you would have to deal with it.
You make a great point.
sometimes.
Can't have that. Can't
No.
have the bosses dealing with their companies. No.
No. Chelsea brings up, Palm Springs was kind of a disaster and everything's just kind of been weird. It's a very different energy in the office when he's there versus when he's not there.
Yep.
And Chelsea is like, a precedent has to be set on how things are going to be handled. And that's not happening right now.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
HR nightmare. Ba-da-bow.
Yeah, baby.
Oh, God.
So then we get a fun scene with Mary and Jason, afterwards, the next day, something. Mary is crying about being in charge.
Stop leaving her in charge. She's not cut out for this.
Why?
And she realizes she's not either, I think.
Well, that's what I don't fucking understand, is if you know that you can't do this, why would you take this position? Like, that's why I have never been in a managerial position. I'm like, no, I don't want to do that shit.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Like, or, the last time Mary was in charge, it went pretty poorly. So why would you put her in charge again?
Maybe this time would be different. I wouldn't make a lot of the decisions Jason makes, but whatever.
Seriously. Mary and Jason imply that Nicole is over it.
Over what exactly?
The whole Nicole and Chriselle thing.
Even though she's still throwing grenades?
Yeah.
And
they say that Chriselle needs to do the same thing. She needs to get over it.
Okay.
I was watching that scene, and I was like, are they talking about the same people?
Right?
It does not seem like they are.
You know what I think? I think they know that Nicole isn't going to stop, so might as well blame Chriselle for reacting to it.
Right, yeah. It's weird, man.
It's like,
I
no,
don't know.
deal with the actual problem.
Like, maybe. That might be helpful.
Jesus. Okay. But Chriselle is, blame the more reasonable person for reacting to the unreasonable person.
Right, yeah.
Happens a lot. Anyway.
Yep. So, Chelsea opens up to Emma about kind of why she feels the way that she does about Bree and Bree's situation.
Okay.
So Chelsea is British. She's from the UK. And Chelsea's mother took Chelsea's brother and sister to the States for work.
Mm-hmm.
And Chelsea stayed in the UK with her dad.
Okay.
And because of that, Chelsea was kind of robbed of a mother figure. So that's kind of why Chelsea doesn't love Bree's whole situation, is she's like, feels bad for the kids that they'll be, robbed of their parental figures.
Okay.
So.
That's, totally get it, but also.
You went about it the wrong way.
Yeah, you have to realize that even though something feels like familiar to you in a triggering kind of way, it isn't actually the same. These are different people.
Right.
And you don't know how things are actually going to be for them, so.
Exactly.
Just
reserve
judgment.
Right? It's,
Like, that's definitely rough, and I feel for her. But you gotta, like, you gotta realize these are separate things.
Right, yeah. I don't love how hot Bree comes in, but Chelsea isn't going about this in any better of a way.
No.
Once again,
Chelsea's
just HR
not
nightmare.
been the most tactful. Yep.
No.
Yeah, I hate all of it. Anyway.
Bree tells Heather that Chelsea is upset because Heather didn't have Chelsea's back. She had Bree's back. Um, and she's
What?
upset about this because Heather hasn't known Heather hasn't known Bree very long. Ugh.
Okay, you're gonna have to run that by me again.
Okay, okay. Bree talks to
Yes.
Heather
Okay.
about how Chelsea is upset
Okay.
because so
Uh-huh.
Chelsea is upset that Heather had Bree's back
Oh.
even though she hasn't known Bree for very long.
Right. Okay, gotcha. Well, it's because you were being judgy,
Right?
Chelsea,
Yeah.
and she wanted you to knock that shit off.
Right? And like Bree, when they met, Bree had a kid 6 weeks prior.
Yeah.
Heather is very far along in her pregnancy. Like, they're going to have children very close to each other.
Yeah.
And it's both
Like,
their first kids.
uh-huh.
So I think that's part of it.
Okay.
Like, and
I
they're
mean-
also very similar about, like, they're very upfront people. Like,
Sure.
yeah.
Okay. Ha.
Yep.
All right. Sometimes it's not about how long you've known somebody. Sometimes it's about how they're acting.
Right, yeah. And, I mean, you know, sometimes you get with people and you just kind of click. Like,
Yeah.
and that's okay. You
Yep.
know, I probably know my friend PJ, who I've only known for a year and 6 months. I probably know her better right now than I know my cousin, who I've known my entire life right now.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yep. Happens.
Yep. Okay, so Chriselle's partner G Flip
Right.
is going on tour in Australia for 2 months.
Okay.
And Chriselle is like, oh, I really wish I could go with you. And
Yeah.
G is like, come with me. Take some time off and come with me and tour Australia.
2 months is a long time to take off, G-Flip.
Right? Yeah. And Chriselle in a talking head is like, yeah, like I can stay here and make a ton of money and like we can FaceTime and all of that, but you know, we won't be able to be with each other. So,
Yeah. I mean, look, if you have the option to go, fucking go.
right? Yeah.
Like, I'm very much in the fuck it, have experiences, life is short camp. So if you have the option, like, take it.
As long as you can afford your
Take
bills.
it responsibly.
Yeah.
Yep. It sounds like she can still afford her bills. So.
Oh yeah, yeah.
This, as somebody who just quit her job without another one lined up, it'll be
Right?
fine.
Hey.
It'll be fine.
It will.
I'll just work my little butt on DoorDash for a hot minute.
Yep.
It'll be all right.
Yeah. Throughout this season, we have been coming to these penthouses, which Jason has been renovating for over a year at this point.
Right.
And we have the penthouse launch event.
Okay.
So they had decided on a price. It was like $6 million or something. Places like this are usually about $800 to $1,000 per square foot.
Okay.
They upped the price at the last minute of these penthouses. They added like another $1 million, so, and they are now $2,000 per square foot.
What the hell? Gross rich people things.
When Nicole is told about this, she is kind of afraid that it'll make it harder to sell.
Well, yeah, it's overpriced.
Right? Yeah. We'll talk about it a little bit. Because first we have to talk about Heather approaching Chelsea to
Okay.
ask why it mattered that she's known her longer than Bree. Heather is basically upset right now that she's being brought up and in the middle of Chelsea and Bree.
I mean, yeah. Like, leave my name out of this shit.
Right? Yeah. Heather then calls Chelsea two-faced.
Wow, alright.
And then walks away.
HR nightmares.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Then Chelsea and Bree end up getting into it about Chelsea not understanding Bree, and Bree is like, I don't need a judge and a jury. Like, I have enough of that. You know, you're not fucking my man, so why does it matter?
A little blunt, but yeah.
Right.
I get her point. Probably would have phrased it more tactfully, but I'm not on reality TV for a reason.
Right.
So.
Bree ends up walking away from this conversation.
Y'all are just awful.
I love that
all y'all.
These people come up to each other, start talking, and then walk away.
They start shit, none of them can finish the shit.
Right? Yeah. Basically.
It's like, hey, if you're gonna walk up and start shit, see it through.
Right? Yeah.
Stop running.
Seriously.
Yeah, little bitches. Anyway.
So then we see Chriselle and Mary have a conversation. And Chriselle is like, you know, these are absolutely beautiful properties, but, you know, the price is really high.
Yeah.
And Mary is like, well, you need to help sell it and be a team player.
Oh my god, I'm so triggered right now. Boss makes bad decision. You have to help them justify it.
Right? Yeah.
Anyway.
This is also in an area where Chriselle talks about it. She's like, this is the area in Pretty Woman before Julia Roberts met Richard Gere. So, like, it's not
the nice part.
Yeah, it's not the nice part of Hollywood.
Oh, God.
So, she's like, yeah, the price is kind of high. So,
yeah.
Mary is like, you know, you need to be a team player, and says, we all need to be hungry.
Okay.
Yeah. And Chriselle is like, well, I'm well fed right now. Like, I'm good.
Right?
Then Mary cries about Palm Springs.
What about Palm Springs?
About how it was a shit show.
Oh, yeah. It really was.
And she cries about living up to everybody's expectations.
Yeah.
And again, on one hand, I'm like, yeah, I understand. On the other, Mary, it was your job to stop shit, and you did not stop shit. So
you gotta get out of this situation, Mary.
Right.
It's not working.
Right.
This does not play to your strengths.
Right.
Peace out of it.
Seriously. And Mary is like, you know, I've got real shit going on. Like, I've got other stuff going on. But I'm trying so hard to be a team player. And Chriselle is like, I'm not focused on real estate right now. Like, G is, like, in the back of my mind all the time right now. And, like, they're going to Australia for 2 months. And, like, I'd really love to be with them. And Mary encourages Chriselle to go be with G.
I think she should.
Right? Yeah.
She's well fed right now. Fuck
right?
it, go off. Take a break from your toxic work environment.
Right? Yeah. And, like, she's, you know, she's doing well with real estate for the most part. She's not, you know, like, she's not hungry. She's got, you know, reality TV money, too.
Yep.
She's definitely got, you know, opportunities for appearances and stuff. Like, yeah. So, yeah, Mary encourages Chriselle to go be with G Flip, and she leaves the penthouse launch party to do that.
Good.
Yep.
Go live your life.
Right. We see a little preview of, like, what's to come. Okay, we're not told, like, if it's next season or anything, but we see, some clips of what's going to happen in the near future. So.
Okay. Isn't this the end of the season?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Well, interesting.
It's basically just a lot of speculation. There's some, like, sexy masquerade party.
At a work function? No.
Probably at a work function. Who knows?
Ew.
We see Jason talking about maybe marrying Mary Lou. Like,
speculation. We won't know shit till it actually comes out because it's still a show, and they'll change whatever they want.
Yep, exactly. So, yep.
All right. Well, hot damn. This is gonna be a lie down day for me.
No. Oh well. I'm also just still a little bewildered at the whole, like, the fact that Nicole is bringing shit up from 3 years ago.
Oh, yeah. No, that's... God.
Like, ma'am, what?
How many of these people do you think actually need to work?
Honestly, I would say it's probably just Mary, Amanza, Nicole, maybe Heather. That's about it, though.
Why work if you don't have to?
Because selling big fancy house is fun.
Okay. I have a hard time believing anybody has passion for selling fancy houses, but what do I know?
Right? I think I talked about this last episode. Like, they call these houses sexy, and I'm just like, what?
Right?
It's a house. I don't get it. Like, I love my house. I don't think my house is sexy.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe it's because I quit my job. But
maybe.
It was very toxic. But I do need to work. Haha.
Or you could support us on Patreon. Patreon.com/muchadosomeshit.
I'll be okay, everybody. Don't worry. I was able to do this because it's just me. I don't have anybody to support, so I can take the risk.
What about Mochi?
She'll be okay. She gets fed before I do. So.
Right, I feel that.
So yeah, nobody worry about me. I'll be just fine.
Yeah.
I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
I have before. I will again.
Yep.
It's just a little exciting right now. Any hoozle.
Yeah.
These people should stop doing everything they're doing.
Yeah. Agreed.
All right. Well, I guess that wraps it up for this week.
Yep.
Thanks so much, everybody, for hanging out with us. What are we going to be doing next week, Raimi?
We're going to do Gilly Girls. We're going to visit the Gill Gals
shit.
next. Yeah.
We're doing the Gilly Gals.
Yeah.
That is translated to Gilmore Girls for anyone. Oh, all right. Well, you guys can look forward to that for next week.
Yeah.
Thanks so much, everybody, for listening. A special shout out to our patrons. Emma, Florence, and Meg.
We appreciate your friendship.
Thanks so much, guys. Yes, we appreciate you. We appreciate everyone for listening, and we will see you all next week.
Bye.